everybody, wherever you may be, from coast to coast and sea to Sean and sea. Welcome back to Ham Radio Live, where the world comes to talk radio. Big show for you today. We're going to do the amateur extra license questions and answers. Plus, we'll take a look at how you can build an emergency radio out of spare parts that you wouldn't believe would work as a radio. Plus, we've got your Friday Funnies coming up, too. It's Friday. Wherever you're at around the world, Friday, September 23rd, 2022. And let's enjoy a little bit of history. This is Look Sharp, Be Sharp. It's done by the Boston Pops, released in 1954. And the song actually was used in Gillette razor commercials. No kidding. Here it is, requested by Greg in New England. This is the original version of it on a 78. What do you say, instead of starting like a movie tone reel, which this kind of sounds like the music in the background for, it's so cool. What a great piece of history. Greg, nice request on a 78 vinyl too. And if you listen carefully, you can hear the little pops and crackles of the record. Let's listen. Final part of the song, and you can really hear a little more of that beautiful vinyl sound. Great request by Greg. Thank you so much for bringing it up to my friend. Always a pleasure to play someone's request. Wherever you're at around this great big world of ours, I'd like to wish you a happy Friday and say away we go. Hi there, good to see you. My name's Larry. My call sign at Amateur Radio's Kilo 7 Hotel November. I'm very sorry I'm late today. There's a lot in the show. Concert calendar, special events, the DXPedition calendar for both the U.S. and Europe. Plus also amateur extra license questions and answers. And we have Friday Funnies as well as your comments to a fun comment question on our topic today. Yep, coming up. Good to see you guys. Very happy Friday around the world. We'd love to help you to get your amateur radio license. It's something very attainable. And I said yesterday, now's a real good time to go forward and make that step. Our high frequency part of amateur radio, which is only a very small portion of what we do, but it's the part where we make calls to other countries. Good example, let me show you the radio right now. This is 10 meters here in the Northwest. I'm pointed southeast. I'm trying to reach right to the edge of Argentina here from Oregon. And I mean, signals are just fantastic today on 10. This is a great time to get your license because you'll make amazing calls to other continents if you do that. Start the process. Contact someone like the American Radio Relay League at www.arrl.org. Let them know you'd like to get your license and where you're from. They'll send an email back with a local amateur radio club to you. Then contact the club, get to know them, and they'll help you get on the air. www.arrl.org. If you hear from WRMI CQ Calling Show, I'd like to welcome you to the YouTube side of the show. We're grateful you're here. It's an honor to have you join us around the world from WRMI. Have a show email here at CQ, hamradiolive@gmail.com, and a nice little Discord group that we get together and talk a lot about radio and have some fun and all that at ham-radio-live. Please know there'll be a description, right in the description, there'll be a link to it. You'll be invited to come on in and join us after the show. Our topic question today, and that, well, I thought I changed every one of these things. I hate when that happens because there's like 190 elements of the show. What's your favorite part of your radio? That's really the question. What's your favorite part of your radio? I mean, take a look, for example, at your favorite radio, whatever that is, and think about what you really like about it. Let me know. We'll make it part of today's show. This is about your radio here today. I hope you enjoy it. Also going to talk about the BuddiHex. I'm 90 days into my review of this antenna. I'll have my thoughts on it, and I'll share those with you shortly. First, the weather, powered by ICOM. ICOM for the love of ham radio. A1A is here. Southern Hemisphere sunspots is what we have going on. Backside of the sun, we do have another sunspot coming right there to the east of 3105. It's not numbered yet, but it was going to be happening out here probably in the next day or so, and hopefully start to affect our SFI conditions, bring them back up a little higher as the weekend goes along. Current magnetosphere view. Here's the way it was a few days ago. This is 3 days ago, 2 days ago, and today. There you go. So actually they have named it. Look, 3107. That's the name of the new sunspot region. So 3106, 05, and 3107 off of the magnetosphere view. That's what it's named. And you see where all the sunspots are. There's the one 3109, basically got the equator of the sun, and then all the other ones are in the southern hemisphere of the sun. Coronal hole map. We have two coronal holes, 25, 26. They're not really hitting us too hard right now. This is not a problem. What we really need is just more sunspots. Solar flare detection. This is interesting. We almost hit a big M flare today, and look at how the activity of the sun is charging up higher and higher and higher for a baseline. This is phenomenal stuff coming, and truly some good days to work your radio today, tomorrow, and Sunday. Solar indices, SFI 137, smooth sunspot numbers at 99, that's up 29, area number up to 980. That's a big number. That's up 330 points. KP index, this is where noise floors come in, and unfortunately we've got a little bit of unsettled conditions. It's going to give you a basic noise floor around S2, S3 at times, but you're not going to have a problem. We've got good SFI. 3-day geomagnetic forecast. They're still calling for a G1 magnetic storm today. We'll wait and see. It hasn't come yet, and so far so good. We'll kind of keep our fingers crossed that things stay quiet. Also, quiet tomorrow could be at KP3 with a G0 condition, and then on Sunday a KP3. So these are going to be noise floors about S1, S2, and hopefully S1, S2 today as well. QRZ conditions, there you see the signal noise level, third from the bottom, S2 to S3 right now. SFI 137, sunspot number up to 111. They've got the updated Digison from what they set up at British Columbia today. So sunspot number now at 111. A index 6, K is 3, BZ latitude is going to go positive. It was at minus 2.8. when I started doing all the work to put the show together. And by the time I had finished, the last things I do is QRZ and the Kilo Charlie 2 Golf MUF map. So at that point, we were at minus 2.8 on BZ. When I was ready to start the show, I took this one, and it's now at minus 1.0. So we're going to go positive on the BZ most likely this afternoon. Solar wind is down to 394.4 kilometers per second. You can see HF conditions, and I'll tell you 10 meters is open in the northern hemisphere. Kilo Charlie 2 Golf map. This is current right now in Fairbanks. It's about 15 megahertz in Anchorage. You're at 16, so 16 and 16. I'm sorry, 16 and 16. They're kind of very close together there. Take a look at 10 meters now in North America. Look at that. Look at that. You go all the way to New England, and you go west, literally. And I mean, it's all the way here. It may say 25 there. If you're in like the area in the northern part of Idaho, then that might be so. But I can tell you 10 meters is really alive here in the Northwest. I expect that to continue to go north today. Folks that are in Saskatchewan, Ontario, in anywhere between the middle part of the country, or I should say those provinces, and south, you should get 10 meters, and it should give you most of the afternoon. It's going to be a great day to work your amateur radio. Right now in southern Venezuela, we got 37, North Brazil 35, Sao Paulo 34. Look at the states, 29 right around North Carolina, 32 Panhandle of Florida, 34 in Brownsville, 29 Southern California. These are numbers we have not seen in months. Great day for turning on your radio. Look at Europe right now in the dark, 25 Great Britain, 21 France, 22 Portugal, 22 in Spain. We've got a 20 megahertz there in Sicily, 17 Greece, 15 in Jerusalem. As the Far East starts getting ready for a nice wake-up sunrise, the people in Japan are in 40-meter band, of course. But look at Australia. Australia looks really good. Townsville right now at 14 megahertz. Sydney is doing really good at 13 megs. But look at Brisbane. Brisbane right now at, look at that, 21 megahertz already. And 30 meters, 28 megahertz, really close to them right now. Both the North and South Islands of New Zealand will have no problem clearing the 20-meter band today. It's going to be a great day to turn your radio on. Your ham and shortwave forecast today, powered by ICOM, SFIs to remain steady through Sunday. Now, what they're going to do, might get a little bump up, a little bump down, so maybe it goes up to 140 and drops down to 135, so forth. It'll do that for a little bit. We just need some more sunspots. This should continue through Sunday. Noise floors, S3 to S4 tonight, I should say. S1, S2 by Saturday night. Voice bands, Northern Hemisphere, you get everything. There's no question about it. 20, 17, 15, 12, and 10. Equatorial latitudes, 20, 17, 15, 12, and 10. Southern Hemisphere, 20, 17, 15, 12, and 10. And work 10 to death today, friends. Seriously, work it to death. Man, it's beautiful. 10 meters is just beautiful right now. Noise floors tonight are going to be a little high on your amateur radio bands. They'll lower tomorrow night, and Sunday, well, it should be getting a little bit quieter. Nighttime ham band openings, 160, 80, 60, 40, 30. Best DX, your maximum usable frequency at sunset, then scoot down to 40 and 80 meters overnight. 40 works great right now at gray line morning. If you're doing sunrise work and you get up before the sun comes up, man, 40 is you're gonna love 40 meters. Shortwave band listeners, you got good conditions today. Decent conditions on these frequencies because they don't have a lot of noise above 30 meters. So 31, 25, 22, and 19 meters today. Good conditions for all four of those bands. Shortwave nighttime listeners, noise floor is high tonight. They should lower by tomorrow night and then even more on Sunday. Nighttime shortwave bands, 120, 90, 75, 60, 49, 41. And I highlight those in yellow only because those are the bands that could be affected by more noise. Okay, once you get to 31, you're not going to get a whole lot more noise in the band that's going to help you not hear the signal. So you'll also get 31, 25, 22, and 19 meters still heard in the northern and southern hemisphere, about 45 minutes or so after sunset. And then those signals will simply fade away. Want to welcome you to the show. Happy Friday. It's great to see you guys. Happy Friday. We're going to have a lot of fun. We've got our Friday Funnies today. Amateur extra license questions and answers. Plus, I'm going to talk to you about my 90 days of reviewing the BuddiHex by BuddiPole. I know it's not a super easy antenna to get right now. There's a lot of amateur radio gear that's not easy to get right now. But if there's one thing I could recommend, I've always said one of the best purchases I ever made was the Heil Parametric Receive Audio System. I like it because it helps to tailor in the audio that I like to hear to pick up DX. The best other thing I ever purchased was the BuddiHex. That's a true story. And I'll tell you why in a segment that's coming up, my friends. In fact, why don't we just get to that right now? We'll talk about it. The BuddiHex is such a simple modular antenna. Everything comes just in one canvas bag. Chris from BuddiPole likes to tell folks that, he'd recommend the tripod that's a 7-meter extendable mast versus the 10-meter one, because the 10-meter one, it's pretty high. You've got to make sure and really guide it carefully and slowly too, because you've got a pretty big mass of 12 feet up there that, is rolling around in the wind. So you want to make sure and keep it guide down carefully. I actually have the top section of the BuddiHex guide, and then I have the middle guide as well. And it's been phenomenal. 90 days I've had it. I've been working remote with it. I've had it in my yard probably now 2.5 months, and it hasn't, no problems, nothing. It just works all the time. This thing is so simple to build. It will probably take you your first time possibly up to 30 minutes to build it, truly. After that, you'll be just fine. You'll get up, get down real quick. Each spoke is color-coded. They have color-coded clips where you will put the color-coded wire on those clips. It's so easy, even I can do it. Here's what those spreaders look like. They're all shock-corded together, so as you pull them apart, they click together and go in place. And then there's, see the red clip right there? That is for the band that will have the red wire. The wires correspond to the colors of the clips on the antenna. The elements, here's two elements, for example. You see, this is what makes this antenna so brilliant. They're color-coded. On each one of these spreaders, you have two color-coded wires. And those color-coded wires simply go onto each element of this. And as you see, the colors are right there. So here is where you'll clip the wire for the red one, for example. Here's where you clip the wire for the yellow one. This is why I'm saying this is one antenna that's so doggone easy, even Larry could build it. Yep, so, exactly. And this is what it looked like at field day. I went to a really remote place up in the Oregon Cascades, east side. So I had a beautiful view of the east. And what was really cool from up here, elevation about 4,500 feet. The antenna didn't really need to be very high. And I was pointing it towards the southeast. And I mean, stations I'd never heard coming in from South America. This antenna is built to last. It's very well constructed. And what I think I like the most about it is the doggone thing fell on me. This is not, I mean, just being honest with you. True story. It was probably 20 feet up. My brother had a hold of a guy wire. I had a guy in one arm trying to pull it and keep the mast in one place because we were trying just to guide it down. And it just got caught in the wind and down it went, crashed over the fence into the neighbor's yard. We were able to lift it back up. There was no dent anywhere on the mast, and the antenna wasn't even hurt that it didn't even drop an antenna wire at all. Those things all stayed on the clips. You know, and that's embarrassing to tell somebody that happened to you, right? Because you always want to tell people how good things were and because it makes you look smart. But I'd rather be transparent through the whole thing and tell you that this thing just held up. It did a great job. I've made calls to countries I have never been able to make calls to, including South Africa, which is the toughest call for us to make here on the West Coast. Because you go north on the West Coast, it gets even harder. So I'm at 45 degrees north, and hitting South Africa was a big deal for me. A lot of the countries in Europe as well. These are stations I could never work before. This antenna has been absolutely astounding for me. Now, I know that, you know, it's a little hard to get prices and get the antenna and all that. But if you could find a way to do this instead of spending a lot more money on a radio, I guarantee it, you'll be very happy you did. I'd rather have maybe let's figure a short radio and it doesn't cost very much, 450D, for example. Or, you know, could be something like that. And then buy this antenna with it. That radio is just going to work fantastic because you're going to work great signals because the antenna works really well. Very resonant. It doesn't have any problems with, you know, wobbling off of that was my worry. It was going to wobble off the top of the mast. Doesn't do that. It sticks right up there. Now, my hope is to keep it up past CQ Worldwide November for the sideband CQ Worldwide contest. That's what I'm looking forward to. And I hope I'll be able to do that. But I can tell you unabashedly, with no reservation, this is an antenna. If you can afford to get it, that you should get it. It's that good. My opinion only. Just take it for what it's worth. 90 days up, and it's still making calls around the world for me. I want to thank Chris, BuddiPole, and putting together a great product because it was easy to build, so easy I could do it, and literally it has helped me work the world. So thank you, Chris. Nice work. Really great antenna. No, I'm not kidding. Better than any radio purchase I ever made, better than any of the other stuff I ever bought, the gizmos and gadgets. It just is brilliant. Just a great antenna. Anyway, we're going to talk about something else today, too. This is a neat topic, but before we do, you know, we haven't done first, seconds, and thirds. My goodness, what's wrong with me? First one in, all the way from the UK, 2 Echo 0, sorry, Mike 7, X-Ray Tango Tango, Andy Bronson. You did it. Give him a big old beep beep. Meep, meep. Sorry, Andy. Welcome, mate. Good to see you. Good evening to you there. Nice to have you, Andy. Gosh, it's great to see you. I hope your Friday was going well. And hey, it's Saturday coming up, buddy. Good stuff is coming. Second up, all the way from Bahrain, that is Tom. Thank you for coming, Tom. As always, it's such a pleasure to have you here. Tom is He is a person that designs flight simulators. Tom, it's great to have you coming into the Middle East. Thanks for being here. William comes in third place from Akron, Ohio, Alpha Delta 8, India Tango. William, thanks for the message, and nice to have you, look out for me a little bit, try and help me out. That was very kind. Thank you. Nice to do that. It's very nice to lift up a friend. Steve, 2 Echo 0 X-Ray Sierra Hotel, welcome. Good evening to you. And there's our friend Greg right there. Hi, Greg. Good to see you. Nice to have you back, bud. Yeah, that was his request. That's on a 78 vinyl. It's really cool. It's called Look Sharp, Be Sharp. It's done by the Boston Pops Orchestra. And this is from 1954. And it's just brilliant. Really is. And then it became like the Gillette Razor jingle music. It's kind of a neat story behind it. Rob, welcome. November 7, Tango Tango Alpha, Arizona, Tucson to be specific. Welcome. Good to see you, buddy. Wow. Aaron Lutz, good to see you, mate. Victor Echo 5, Lima Golf. I promise. I'll send QSO cards. I gotta have time. But I'll do it. Jeff's here from Portland, Alpha Delta 7, Lima, November. Always a pleasure, Jeff. Thanks for coming. Good to see you, buddy. Jeff's a good guy. Surffish Radio, Gulf 7, Foxtrot Tango, November. That's Martin. Welcome, Martin. Good evening. All the way from the UK. Man, that's pretty cool. I always loved that. Victory DP, that's Whiskey 9 Juliet Lima Kilo. He's holy smoke, caught a live show again. Thank you. It's nice to have you. Thanks for coming back. Thanks very much. I mean that. Ron Walensky, welcome to you. November 8, Whiskey Charlie Romeo. Cliff Bolts, Whiskey Delta 4 Oscar Bravo Papa is here from Commonwealth of Virginia. Tom in Bahrain, I've not been able to catch a live stream for a while. Happy Friday, everyone. It's great because like where he's at right now, it's after midnight and he's watching the show. Tom, I mean that. Thank you. And thank you for the wonderful platter and the mug. Wow. That is stuff that I really appreciate. Thank you, man. Hold on. It's here. Oh, now you can't see him. No, I don't want that. So we'll just kind of put things in place and try not to break anything. I love this mug. Tom, thank you. You outdid yourself. The mug, the beautiful Dubai plate. Jeez. Oh my gosh. That is so nice, Tom. Thank you again for sending that all the way from the Middle East. Thank you, Tom. Wow. I mean that. Welcome, M. First timer, Kilo India 5 Union Tango Sierra. Welcome. Good to have you. My name's Larry, and it's really a pleasure to have you at Ham Radio Live today. Thanks for coming today, my friend. It's good to have you. Winan joins us all the way from the country of Namibia. That might not seem familiar. It's Southeast Africa. Winan, welcome. Good to have you, buddy. Welcome back. Nice to see you, buddy. Nice to see you. William Myers, Kilo Alpha 8 Gulf India. Mike here from the beautiful state of Wisconsin. Whining with a roar. Hello, and thank you for that. Let's see. Andy Bronson, Bermuda, Brazil, and South Africa booming into UK right now. Absolutely. 10 is where it's at. It's hard to do the show right now because I want to go play. Aaron, I talked to Argentina 3 nights ago on 15 meters. It was a pipeline QSO, and it's the way it is. Yeah, Andy Bronson, 14.215 South Africa, 21.254 for Bermuda. Congratulations, Andy. Nice work. Yep. Jeff in Portland, first one to answer our topic question today, which is what's the favorite part of your radio? Jeff says, favorite part, sound quality. That's really cool. I have found with amateur radio, they do have their own signature sounds. I prefer Kenwood because I think they have really good sound compared to a lot of other radios. But when you're talking sound quality, that's a really nice feature because it helps you to hear it better, right? Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate it. Alpha Delta 7, Lima, November, right there. That's good. Ronnie, thanks for the link for Solar Ham. Andy New says, my favorite bit is the VFO display. There you go. So he likes the VFO display on his Xiegu G90. Well done. That's cool. Love that. Love that. Never worry about being late. We're just glad you're here, buddy. Very glad. Tampa, Florida's in the house. That's Jody, Kilo Bravo 4, Oscar Victor Papa. Welcome. Good to meet you. Thanks for coming, Jody. My name's Larry. It's welcome time. Good to have you. Thank you. I mean that with all my heart. Truly do. Let's see. Aaron says, I really like all the filtering capabilities of my radio, which is an IC7300. Between the bandwidth notch and noise filters, I can bring in signals I could not with my old radio. The gain control is thumbs up. Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Thank you. Yeah. Neat to have this, right? It's a positive question. Everybody has what they like. It's kind of cool. Andy, continuing with some signals that are being heard, he says Zulu Sierra 1 Union Charlie Kilo, which is a South Africa station, was 20 over, but Bermuda was nearly 30 over and made contact just before the show. Congratulations again, Andy. Nice work. Yep. And that would be right because Europe is just coming out of there. That's Gray Line. He's working right about Gray Line, and that's where you make those magical calls. Again, well done, Andy. Good evening. That's a good evening for you. That's where you start to scream and yell, and your spouse comes running in and saying, what the heck? This is amazing. What are you doing? And I'm like, yes, I made a call all the way to this place. And she's like, okay, have fun. They don't understand. Wives don't understand. Rodney, thank you for the like thing. That's very nice of you to do. I appreciate that very much. I think we got everybody caught up here with this question here. So, Jeff, if you don't have sound quality, you don't have a radio, you have a toaster. Interesting comment. That's an interesting comment. Toaster. And let's see, asking about the 590 SG. Actually, Andy, I had two of those. Great radio. Phenomenal radio. I mean, great filtering on that transceiver. It's very good. What are you going to miss? You're going to miss the waterfall display. But if you're an old shortwave guy, so you're used to listening with your ears, man, you'd probably love that radio. It is such a good piece of kit. Really is. Just a great piece of kit. I think I got everybody here. We're talking about signals and making calls and stuff, and it is definitely to do that. Sam Weaver, welcome. Good to have you as always. We're always grateful that you're here, Sam, whenever you do show up. So thanks for being a part of the show. Al Gross is here. He's in Ontario, California. Greetings, Earthlings. Whiskey Bravo 0, Alpha Lima. Thank you. I got to tell you, I don't know how long I'll be able to do the show, but we'll get into at least a Larry story. Andy Bronson, Larry, totally agree with the hex beam. Yeah, it makes all the difference in the world. It is like your radio all of a sudden works like you hoped it would. It's true. That's true. Yeah. 10 meters. Isn't that great? It's coming. It's coming your way. No question. No question. Let's see. Whining, I hated when some guys just start talking on frequency. Keep in mind too, though, buddy, is sometimes they don't know that you're there too. They don't. And it's not that they're trying to be rude. They just don't hear you. And I think that happened. That happened to me over the weekend. Really did. Because I was making a call to a guy that was I can't remember now, but he was on Dad's radio. Oh, that was one of the calls down to Chile. And this guy starts calling CQ. And I'm like, whoa, what are you doing? I'm on a DX. I'm trying to work DX to Chile on this frequency. And he said, well, I've got 60 contacts on this frequency in the last 3 hours. Okay. Then you have to just look and say, you know what? I'll move. And so I did. And then he left. And then I went back and got the call. It's just, sometimes it can be very hard to do that. Yeah, just can't hear him very well. Dave in Temecula is here. Hi, Dave. Good to see you. Whiskey 6, Charlie Romeo Tango. Welcome back to the show. Good to have you. Let's see. Jody, my favorite part of my FTDX10 is a digital noise reduction. And that is really good on that radio. It is fantastic. What's nice about the FTDX10, by definition, digital noise reduction will add little artifacts into the signal. That's what it does. It tries to squeeze a signal, add some artifact into it that make it more easy to hear. But on the FTDX10 and the 101s, it's so well done. Totally agree, Jody. I loved that part too. Yep, I really did. And I also love the VC tune on the 101 a lot. Rodney, my favorite part of my current radio is the receive. I love that from the FTDX10. That's a solid front end. Well done. Yep. Solid front end on that. Yep. Welcome. This is nice. This is Talal, Alpha 65 Foxtrot November. First timer and welcome. My goodness gracious. Nice to meet you. I hope I said your name right. I don't mean to say it wrong. Talal, is that? I hope that's right. I don't mean to be disrespectful. She says, "Hey Larry, just joined and thank you for the lovely stream. Thank you for being a part of this stream. I sincerely mean that. It's nice to meet you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, that's really cool. I mean, you don't get a chance to do that very much, right? So it's like, well, I'll just say hello to somebody I don't even know. And that person, by the way, Talal, just so you know, that's UAE coming to the show. United Arab Emirates. Wow. I am always amazed at where people come from for this show. Thank you for coming. I know it's late where you're at. Thank you very much for making this part of your evening. I appreciate that. Let's see. Tony's here. Happy Friday from the East Coast of the United States. Steve, I'm not sure what favorite part is. I guess the fact it's easy to use. Turn it on and get going making QSOs. Okay. But what do you use? Like, Steve, if you're making a DX call, sometimes the signal is very weak, right? What do you use to make it come out? How well does your DSP work? And what part of DSP do you use to bring the signal in so you can make the call? For me personally, and I'll share mine right now, on this radio here, the question, on the 5000, which this is my favorite radio in the world. It's like, I would never want to get rid of this radio. For me, the variable RF is by far my favorite feature on it. It's phenomenal. It really can bring in the maximum part of the frequency that you're on. It's fantastic how they did that. I don't know how, but they did it, and it's good. On the 7610, my favorite part of it is it's just simple to go through. I mean, it's almost like you can do it blindfolded because it's the same operating system on the 7300 and the 9700. Even the 7100 shares a lot of the similar menu stuff, and I like that part of it. So think of it that way, Steve. Something pretty easy to use or making it better, Let's see, 314, how is the 5000 holding up? Bless his heart. This is nice. This is really nice. This is the gentleman that sold me the radio I never, ever, ever, ever want to sell. There he is, 314. Wow. Let me just share with you this because this is really a neat guy. I bought that radio off of eBay, all right? And it came with microphones. They're great. In fact, one of the mics it came with was an RE20. And it was really cool because I was so impressed to get that. He gave a couple of microphones to my church and really felt wonderful about it. But this radio, I use that radio when I really am having a bad day and I need to decompress because I just find myself turning every little knob and button and enjoying DX. That's my favorite thing. He said, glad to see it went to a good person. Been watching your streams since you bought it. I do miss it though. Bless your heart. Bless your heart. It's in good hands. I promise you that. I don't use it as much as I probably should. I mean that because, and I'd like to show it to you guys. The problem is that you got a mic cable that goes, sorry, an audio cable goes streaming over here and you don't always have a really good view of it. But I will go and use the radio again shortly because that's my favorite radio to share with you because it's my very favorite radio. Taline, by the way, thanks for coming, 314. My gosh, it is being well loved. No question about it. Talal, I have a small question for you, Larry. I would love to know your opinion about the Kenwood TS980S. That's one that I don't own. I've never used it, so I can't tell you what I think of it. And that's too bad. I think from what I've read about it, okay, I like the 890 a lot. I love the 890S because I was able to use it at a local amateur radio retail store. And I was very impressed with it. I really was. It's very different if you're used to like ICOM rigs, especially. It's a very different operating system for you to get familiar with. It really is. It's very different. But it just is such a beautiful radio, and it's a beautiful radio. And then you go up to the 980. Man, you're getting such a powerful transceiver there. I wish I knew more about it to help you, but since that's not one of the radios I've ever bought, I can't do too much with that. I hope that's okay. I really do mean that. Yeah, that's. I'd rather tell you the truth. Yeah. See, Jody, I'm hoping to get some playtime tomorrow. I have to drop my AV680 by the afternoon to prep for the possible hurricane time. Oh yeah, I loved my AV680. Such a wonderful antenna, it really was. Tom in Bahrain, my favorite part of my radio is the power button. The rest is a bonus. Good, fun, and cheers. Well done, Tom. Aaron says, pick a frequency. Indeed. Jeff in East Tennessee loves his FTDX10. Still trying to find my favorite part. Probably the waterfall or the notch and contra. It's another great feature of that radio. Absolutely. No question. Love that one. Here he is, Raleigh from New Zealand. ZL1BQD, welcome. My goodness. There's a good man right there. He's got multiple DXCCs. He's humble as heck. Has a really good YouTube channel too. He's kind of like Charlie, November Juliet 7 Victor from Red Summon RF. He'll take you on a trip. He'll take you on to one of his DXPeditions and show you what it was like. And man, Raleigh's done so many of those things, really has. And something else Raleigh's doing, which is really, really, really cool. I don't know if you know about this. Raleigh's behind a really cool project. It's called Ham Radio for Papua New Guinea. And what he's looking to do is to try and get an amateur radio in the hands of people who've studied hard and passed their license exam. But they can't afford to get a radio. That's the big problem. So if you're interested in this, Raleigh is the one who's overseeing this whole GoFundMe thing to help the people in New Guinea. Seriously, get a hold of him at ZL1BQD here on QRZ. Let him find out how you can help him, because $5, $10, $20, $30, whatever, it all helps. And he's trying to do it to help put radios in the hands of people who would never be able to afford them. Very good work, Raleigh. Really. Wow. That's amazing work. How is all that going? Fundraising going well? I hope it is. Really do. Yeah. Raleigh's a very special guy. Greg, CQ28450. Well, I don't know. Why don't we just take a look real quick? We'll find out. And then we get to a segment. I got to get to a segment about building a radio with parts you have around the house and not a single electronic component. You'll love it. Hang on. 28450. And I am pointed towards South America here. So if I get you, it'll be off the side of the beam. Not there. But again, I'm just a second. Yeah, it sounds like he's up one. Or a point one, right?
Yeah, most of the big Ks are Australia and a bunch of the other islands near there. Over.
Lot of DX here, guys. This is where it happens. This is where it happens. 10 is so brilliant. This is where you'll find your DX. Just listen for a second. And 10 is so big, too. It's a great big band. Kilo 7 Hotel November. That's Chile.
Hotel November.
Yes, Oregon. That's where it's at. My name's Larry, Lima Alpha, Romeo Yankee, QTH, Independence, Oregon. Over. Just a second. I'm going to try just to make sure you can hear me. Kilo 7 Hotel November. Oops, hold on. Kilo 7 Hotel November. I don't know if you can hear me very well. We'll try a little bit. A little 11%. Gives me a little bump, about 200 watts. Charlie Echo Station, this is Kilo 7, Hotel November. Do you have a copy? Over.
Kilo 7, Hotel November.
Yes, Kilo 7, Hotel November. Kilo 7, Honduras, Nicaragua.
Kilo 7, Hotel November. Charlie Delta 6, Lima, Hotel Echo. 5-7 to report from Osorno, Chile. Very good station.
Yeah, bear with me. I'd like to be able to make the call. Hold on. I'd like to be able to make the call, but I don't have your full call sign. Could you give me your call sign twice, slowly and phonetically, please? Over. Charlie Echo Station. All right. Charlie Echo Station. Just a sec, guys. Hold on. Let me do something real quick. I got two things I'm trying to do. Hold on. There you go. Charlie Echo Station. Charlie Echo. This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Kilo 7 Hotel November. Do you have a copy? Over. Very good. Thank you so much. On your call sign. Hold on a second. On your call sign, I've got Charlie Echo. What is the number, the numero in your call sign? Over.
Charlie Dinamarca 6, Charlie Delta 6, Lima, Honolulu, España, Lima, Hotel Echo, Larry, Roger.
Very, very good. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I've got you here at about a 4x5, 4x5, Quattro Cinco in Oregon. Do you have my signal report? Over.
Larry. 5-7, you report, Larry, Roger.
Wow, thank you so much for the 5-7. I sure appreciate it. I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to thank you. You're going to make a lot of calls on this frequency for sure. Thank you so much. You made my day again. God bless you. From Kilo 7 Hotel November 73.
Kilo 7 Hotel November, Charlie Delta 6, Lima, Hotel Echo. Roger, Larry, 73, bye-bye. Thank you.
Isn't that fun? You know, guys, that is the reason why I love 10 meters right stinking there. No kidding. It's like point and click because 10's open. And the antenna, you know, to its credit, the antenna itself is pointed towards that country. It's pointed towards down in, you know, South America. So it's going that way. And that's what this antenna does every time. It's only a 2-element, but man, it does the trick. The BuddiHex by BuddiPole. Best antenna purchase I ever had. And I loved my DX Commander. I wouldn't get rid of that either. That's a great antenna. But for actually really performing just outstanding, that's a great antenna. Really. All right, we're going to try. And thank you very much for the nice call. That's nice, Steve. Thank you. We're going to move real quick. I will get to the segment about what to do if something major were happening. How you could still listen in the radio. Hey, give me a second with that. Let me try and make a CQ call on 10 because I didn't expect 10 to be open right now. And with it being open and being such an important band, let's try and see if we can maybe make a call together, all right? Let me go down in frequency just a little bit. And this is a great place because we can talk to technicians today on this. This is great. It is a band we could work technicians on as well, right? So as long as we stay between 28.3 and 28.5, we can have calls with technician licenses today, which is a really neat thing, I think. I like that. Let's check frequency. Is the frequency in use? This is Kilo 7 Hotel November. Checking frequency availability, Kilo 7, Hotel November. All right, 28.442 megahertz. We'll try it for 5 minutes, and then we'll close that part because this is a long show. CQ 10 meters, Kilo 7, Hotel November, Kilo 7, Hotel November, calling CQ. CQ, from Kilo 7, Hotel November, Kilo 7, Hotel November, calling CQ. Kilo 7, Hotel November, Kilo 7, Hotel November, calling CQ on 10 and listening. Let me try one more. CQ10, CQ, Kilo 7, Hotel November, Kilo 7, Hotel November, calling CQ. Kilo 7, Hotel November, calling CQ on 10 and listening. And that's okay. We don't need to make a call. We don't have to. This is great. Just spin your VFO. And this is a good indication. You might get some 6 meter E-skip too. This is so good today. Could be a good day for 6 too. All right, let's talk about the worst case scenario. All right, what I'm talking about, let's say, for example, things get really catastrophic and the worst happens, right? Nuclear bomb comes down, and one of the first things that happens with those kind of bombs is it will destroy the insides of electrical items. They do. That's what happens. It's called an electromagnetic pulse. It's very good at trying to destroy communications, but there is a way for you to build a foolproof radio that you can actually hear with in case something major happened. And before you say, well, yeah, but Larry, and this would be a good question to ask, yeah, but Larry, why would you care? Because if all of this area, your area gets blown up because of a nuclear bomb, you're dead. If you were to be able to survive, all right, and you wanted to be able to hear news and find out what's happening, your radio TV stations, your local market, probably off the air. You're not going to hear them. So what do? You don't have a radio that works because the MP has just ruined it. It's just destroyed it. Look at what you can use to build an AM receiver and pick up DX if things go really bad. This is a great video. I want to thank Greg in New England for sending me the idea for this. Look at the parts you need to make this work. This is fantastic. It's called actually a trench radio. Really, Foxhole radio, same thing. Take a look.
Here is my crystal radio. Actually, it is a trench radio because I'm using a razor blade pencil lead as the rectifier instead of a crystal diode, which is right up there. 120 wraps on the coil, 1.5 inch PVC. I have the antenna coming in from outside, about 80-foot antenna coming in. Branches off to the tuner, to the rectifier, and the back side of the coil is to the ground. But actually, it's just the ground side of the microphone or the headphones. I have no ground on this, and I'm picking up pretty good if you want to listen to it.
Danny Warfel here with Florida Credit Union. Don't sacrifice convenience for local personal service.
Right, so now what I'm going to do is I'll show you how I tune this thing with the rectifier. So that's how you tune it.
With the graphite pencil. Isn't that amazing?
So that's coming in even better there.
And he's just stayed with it. He loves the game, and you can tell if you listen to him, he sure knows a whole lot about it. Going on this weekend, especially starting tonight, which is really pretty cool. Eldora's going on there.
All right, now I'm going to hook up the diode on it and show you how much better the diode works.
I just want to raise some of the.
And this is just taking away what he does is he basically takes an X-Acto knife and he heats it up. So he superheats it, right? Gets it to so it's like blue steel, really hard steel. puts it onto the board, and then he uses a graphite pencil on top of the piece of, this X-Acto knife that's been hardened, and actually turns it around on that piece of steel, and that tunes the radio. Actually tunes the radio. It's fantastic. Now what he does, he takes out the piece of X-Acto knife and actually uses a real diode. Let's take a look and see how better this works.
All right, so now you can hear how much better.
I want to go race, and I want to have a good weekend.
Just adding a diode.
That would be him, and he's been running well, quite well actually in the last.
There's the diode instead of the razor blade
and then he finished second up in New Hampshire. This kind of sneaks right up in there.
And he tunes it differently. Take a look.
It's a real basic crystal radio.
Okay, now one thing here I want to share with you, it's really important. If you do this, and this is not really hard to do, right? You can build this. If you do the coil like this with copper wire, you want to use like clear fingernail polish in order to keep everything together. But at the top, you want to burnish a part off. So where your tuner wire goes, like see where he's at, he's holding that tuner wire that goes across all the small gauge wire where, basically that's his tuner right there. Make sure you've burnished that part of the copper off there's no fingernail polish there. You want a good contact, but you want them to stay in place too. So the clear fingernail polish is what you use to keep them all together, but be very careful at the point where you're going to tune it. That's a place you want to keep clear of the fingernail polish. And if you don't, just take some very light grit sandpaper or possibly a Scotch-Brite just to get it shiny in that one area where that wire is going to intersect with it. Let's see the rest of the show. Only 38 more seconds here.
Going to the Brickyard this weekend for the Brickyard 400.
Listen to that. That's just a diode. That's a basic crystal radio.
For all intents and purposes, look, you can just pretty much write this off as he's going to be done points-wise because you can't miss 3 races, and he doesn't have a win. So he's not going to,
He's just going to his computer speakers there. Okay, that's basically it. Now, most people will build this with an earphone jack. That's how most of them will do it, right? But you can always put a 1/8 jack into it, and hot glue it on the piece of wood. And then you can put either a set of headphones to it that don't need power, right? Or you can just hook it up to a speaker that's got a built-in amplifier to it. It's a neat way to build something, especially with a kid. Build that with a kid. The kid will never forget that. It's a neat project. A crystal radio, basically. But the first radio was a Foxhole radio, is what they used during the war. They just used a razor blade. That's why we played the opening song today, because that was actually a Gillette jingle music song too, and that's why we played it. It was for the crystal radio thing. Thanks to Greg in New England for sending a really good idea and a great video. Thank you, Greg. Good man. Want to welcome back a dear friend. We love her to pieces here. This is Jenna, November 4, Juliet Echo Hotel. Welcome back, girl. Good to see you. She's a newly minted amateur extra. Her sister, Avery, has gotten into the show first 8 times. She's in second place, getting in first. It's amazing. Just amazing. Anyway, I also had a request about DMR. And I tried to cover it yesterday, and I'm not good at covering this. I'm not good at covering DMR, VoIP modes, because I don't do them. That's the honest truth. But Jason at Ham Radio 2.0 did, and he's a very good teacher, and he does really well in the short segment talking about digital audio modes in amateur radio, whether it be VHF or UHF. This is a really neat short video from Jason. Thanks to Ham Radio 2.0 for the vid. I'll make sure and put a link to Jason's description section there. Right there, it'll have a link so you can subscribe to his channel.
Digital modes that exist, and the modes that you have today won't be around anymore. But man, they're still making brand new D-Star radio. D-Stars, I pick on D-Star because I choose D-Star. I'm not picking on them. I choose D-Star in this statement because they've been around the longest in amateur radio. That's the digital voice mode that's been around the longest. But they're still making brand new radios. ICOM is still making D-Star radios. They're a brand new IC9700 and they're brand new IC705 QRP rig. D-Star's not going away anytime soon. System Fusion and DMR, not going away anytime soon. DMR, even if amateur radio dropped it tomorrow, DMR is not going away because DMR is not an amateur radio standard. It's a commercial standard. It's a public safety standard. Okay, so that's why so many companies out there make DMR, because they're open source. DMR radios are open source. Anybody can make one. And you've got all these other companies making it and using it in other areas of the world outside of amateur radio. So DMR will be around for a long time after the other ones die. But that doesn't mean that anything else is going to die soon. I think you're probably going to see more digital voice modes come up before you see any of the current ones go away. That's just my opinion, though. Today I wanted to show you guys. I'm going to grab my my RFinder B1, and I'm going to let you listen to what DMR sounds like. I'm not going to be talking. I'm just going to fire up the Pi-Star TGIF hotspot that I did a review on, which I'll post a link right here. I'm going to fire up that hotspot, and I'm going to do a I'm going to jump around between DMR, D-Star, and System Fusion, and I'm going to let you guys look and see what each mode sounds like.
So I need to go fairly quickly. This is going to be a very long show. So let's get to where he gets on the air and you get to hear what each sounds like, all right? First of all.
Where you wrap the settings under call settings. Yeah, so anytime if somebody finishes up a conversation, it returns to that room. And I think that's the setting there. I'm not using that one. Okay, yeah, I'll probably offline with you to kind of figure out the best way to just kind of leave this thing hovering. I'm thinking about getting a AMS type of radio so it can be a multi-mode. So don't even have it working yet, and I'm already thinking what else I need to buy to make it useful. Yeah, depends what you want to do. You know, that's a big thing. I just wanted to get access if I wanted to a local repeater, which I could do. And you know, I take my 100 and turn it over and tell it to go back into the HRI mode, not the wires X mode, something like that. Anyway,
That's an example of System Fusion going through the TGIF hotspot and people talking into the YouTuber's room, which is run by was set up and run by Bob K6UDA. It's FCS 003-48. Available in the Pi-Star drop-down. So that's System Fusion. That's an example of what it sounds like.
Second step is to figure out how to use it.
And the way he's getting to, Bob's got a Wires X connection into an FCS reflector. He set that up manually himself because the hotspots, the Pi-Star and the open spot, they don't connect natively to Wires X. You have to set something up on the back end to connect an FCS reflector to Wires X and share it to a Wires X room. Yaesu likes to control Wires X because they own the network. So it's all good. D-Star. We're connected to reflector 1 Charlie. And that guy had a lot of loss rate. But that wasn't D-Star's fault. That's just... I don't know what he was doing. Wasn't making his repeater and or hotspot. Wow, that was loud.
Good morning, Ivan. HL5 Bravo Bravo Delta from W5 HWZ.
There we go. That's what D-Star sounds like.
HWZ, this is HR5 BBD. Thanks for calling. It's morning here. It's a bit cloudy day today. I woke up an hour ago and did some exercise at home and came back to my shop room. I can hear you very well. Just hear us excellent. Back to you. W5HWZ. This is HR5 BBD.
HL5BBD.
Yes, it's been a while. It's been quite a while, Ivan, since we've last talked. Things out here in Colorado are good. Yes.
Wait for it.
Here in Colorado are
This
good.
guy's all the way in South Korea. No kidding.
Steve, why
South
do we have
Korea.
several thousand?
That's something.
Your place is much safer than any other cities.
So that gives you an idea. And I don't want to play 9 minutes. And it's not because it's a bad video. It's a wonderful video. I'll put a link to you down in the description section. We have a viewer that really wanted some information regarding D-Star, DMR, and System Fusion. I've used System Fusion. I think it's super easy. I'll be honest. It's the easiest mode I've ever used. And, you know, for people who like to do voice over internet because that's about all they can do because they can't put an antenna up, man, you just have a ball with that thing. You really can. So if you're interested in something like that, D-Star you need to register for. That's going to take a little time to make sure you get activated with D-Star. WiresX is easy. You just simply put your call sign in on your radio and you make sure that Yaesu knows that you've got this call sign, you're an active ham, and you're good to go on the System Fusion. It is a really easy way to do amateur radio, and pardon me, guys, it's a way that you can do it through the internet without having to worry about an antenna restriction. That makes that nice, right? So for people who are, limited in what they can do, it still lets you get a window to the world. And there are thousands of people who do this. Still, thousands of people who do this. It's a great way to make friends, super way to learn about culture and people around the world. And that guy was just making a call from the States to South Korea on Jason's channel. Jason, great video, man. I love Jason. Jason's a good guy. Ham Radio 2.0 here on YouTube. Please subscribe. Good guy, truly is. All right, we've got so much to do today. Really do. I mean, way too much to do. And Tom, real quick, says one of the HL operators has a channel called The Stingy Ham. Well done? Yes. We have a lot to do, guys. So let's get in the amateur extra license. A Ham Bytes, today powered by Ham Test Online, the software that knows you. Online courses for all 3 ham radio license exams here in the States, from technician to amateur extra, which we're doing today. The amateur extra license, questions and answers. And my hope is that if you're getting ready to take this test, and by the way, you should, because it gives you all the frequencies, and that's so important how it just all lines up with IARU Region 1, which is Europe and Africa and all of Russia, right? That's Region 1. And they can't go on certain frequencies that generals start out at, like 80 meters, for example. You get a great bump up when you get the extra, and it makes a ton of difference because it's DX, all right? You can sign up for any of these courses here in the States at www.hamtestonline.com. By the way, they did say, when we had Brandon on the other day, that a lot of people in other countries will try and take the tests here just to prepare for their amateur radio exams where they live too. And they've been very successful with it. So, man, hey, more to you if you could do it. Absolutely. First question. What is the term for the time required for the capacitor in an RC circuit to be charged to 63.2% of the applied voltage, or to discharge to 36.8% of its initial voltage, okay? Now, if you take a look at those two numbers, right, you're going to get 100%. But we're talking about the capacitor in an RC circuit to be charged to 63.2. This is like a $75 question here, and it's got a 1 penny answer. It's just one time constant. If you see this, right, and you see the 63.2 and then 36.8, it's just one time constant. And what does that mean? It says when charging a capacitor through a resistor, it takes time for the charge to build up. One time constant is the time required to take charge to approximately 63.2%. That's really what it's all about. So, and why do we need to know that? Because it's on the doggone test. That's the reason why. So time constants, they want you to know a little bit about that. And there aren't many of those questions. I believe on that one, they've got, let's see here real quick. How is the percentage? You got like an 8.3% chance that's going to be on your test. So you should be fine. All right, next. And don't worry about it, just one time constant. Which of the following types of linear voltage regulators places a constant load on the unregulated voltage source? Just remember shunt regulator. A shunt regulator. They try and throw you with a series regulator, but that's not the right answer. This is about a shunt regulator. Just remember, on the linear voltage regulator places a constant load on the unregulated voltage source. That's a shunt regulator that does that. Simple. Just remember constant load on the unregulated voltage source. You'll have it. Next, which of the following digital modes is designed for meteor scatter communications? And this one's going to be one of those things that we like to call an all-in around here. So why don't we just go ahead and get you all together, right? I didn't say it would be easy today, but why don't we just give it a shot and have some fun? So here we go. Which of the following digital modes is designed for meteor scatter communication? So you're doing meteor scatter now, right? Would it be A, MFSK 144, B, WSPR, C, Hellschreiber, or D, APRS? Let me know which digital mode you think would be the right one to go with and do meteor scatter with. That's kind of what the questions are. So let me know with A, B, C, or D. First one who gets this one right, we'll give them some applause, like something like a yay, big yay. Could be something else, but we'll give them a yay today. Okay. There you go. All right. So again, looking for what you would use if you were doing some meteor scatter. First one in, Jeff, November 4, Papa Oscar Delta says A, MSK 144, and he is right. Yay. Nice work, Jeff. That's true. Yeah, it's MSK 144. Andy also got that one. So did Ron. So did Steve. So did Cliff. The world is here, and you're just nailing this. By the way, Kel, welcome. Lima Bravo 4, Yankee India. It's good to have you here. Thanks a lot, Kel. All right, so let's talk about this for just a moment. The different kinds of digital modes used where, okay? Moon bounce is something that we do as well. That's something pretty cool, right? Meteor scatter, we bounce radio signals off the ionized gases created when a meteor burns up in the atmosphere. So when you see that trail, go by, that's what we're using it for, right? What modes for where, all right? This is interesting. JT65 was specifically designed for moon bounce, but can be used for any kind of weak signal contacts. It includes structured messages, forward error correction, and uses 65-tone AFSK at 2.65 baud, okay? The 65 in the name comes from the fact that it uses 65-tone AFSK. So you're going to use JT65 basically for moon bounce, and when you want to go for maybe meteor scatter, MSK 144. In fact, it was specifically designed for meteor scatter. MSK 144 stations typically send the same short, structured digital message at very high speed, many times per second. You know why, right? Because the meteor only lasts for so long. There's only so much energy in the ionized trail. So that's why it does it. Typically for about 15 to 30 seconds, it works very hard at high speed to get the call out, then listen for a response. Meteor trails may only last for a fraction of a second, but with some patience, you can actually do some QSOs. Isn't that cool? That's really cool. FT4 is designed for use in contests, also sends short, structured digital messages, but uses 7.5 second timing intervals. That's pretty cool. So you learn a little bit about moon bounce and what they use for the people that like to do meteor scatter. Congratulations, Jeff. You got it right. So the rest of the world looks like. That was great. All right, next question. This is why I'm saying, guys, you could pass the extra. You could so pass this. I mean, look at this one. Okay, at what time of day can sporadic E propagation occur? It's any time. It's not like just daytime. Excuse me. Any time of day. Seance says only around sunset, only in hours of darkness, only around sunset and sunrise. Nope, it's any time of day for sporadic E. So you can work it at night too. And by the way, with 10 this hot, I would really be looking at 6 meters right now. I really would, because 10 is a gateway to 6. It tells you what it's going to be doing. All right, next question. And this is something pretty simple to do. What is the effective radiated power relative to a dipole of a repeater station with 150 watts transmitter power output, 2 dB feed line loss, 2.2 dB duplexer loss, and 7 dB antenna gain? Remember 286 watts. Just remember 286 for that. That's going to be your answer on that question, all right? And we've shown the formula before on this, and why it's the answer. Just remember, we're talking about 150 watts transmitter power output, but you've got 2 dB of feed line loss and 2 dB of 2.2 dB of duplexer loss, but you've got a 7 dBd antenna gain antenna. So that gets the answer back, gets the numbers back up. That's why it's 286 watts, right? What do Hepburn maps predict? And this is not like Audrey Hepburn. All they're about is tropospheric ducting. When you see the word Hepburn map, it's an indicator for what the tropospheric ducting forecast would be for your area. That's it. It's probability of tropospheric propagation. And what is that? This talks about this. The troposphere is the area that's right touching the Earth's surface. It goes up a little ways, and what it does is if it happens to be cold up, down at the surface and warm above it, that's called tropospheric ducting. What you get is you have a signal that can literally stay trapped in the troposphere and make calls 200-300 miles away. It's amazing. Take a look at this. Sometimes a mass of warmer air gets trapped on top of a mass of colder air. This opposite or inversion of the normal condition is called a temperature inversion. Temperature inversions occur most frequently over or near large bodies of water and along stable weather fronts. And look what it says there about making calls. The temperature gradient bends radio waves back towards the ground more strongly than usual, typically propagating signals as far as 100 to 300 miles away. It's called tropospheric ducting. Happens a lot near the ocean, and something that, man, if you want to use UHF, especially VHF, man, you can do a long ways with that. Really can. Here's another gimme question on the extra. This is actually on the extra exam. What is the minimum passing score on all amateur operator license examinations? 74%. Remember, 74%. That's it. You do 74, you're good to go. Next, which of the following is a common use of a Schottky diode? The old Schottky diode. This is really an easy answer, okay? It's as a VHF, UHF mixer or detector. Okay, just remember VHF and UHF mixer or detector with Schottky diode, you'll be good to go, right? Here's another one that's very simple and makes total sense when you read it. To which of the following examinees may a voluntary examiner not administer to an examination to? So in layman's terms, is there someone that a voluntary examiner can't give a ham radio test to? The answer here is only relatives of the VE. They cannot do it. So if you have a relative and they want to give you the test, they can't do that. It's against the FCC rules. So relatives of the VE as listed in the FCC rules is the right answer. Just remember, when you get that question, what person can VEs not give a test to? It's their relatives, okay? Next, and we get just a couple more here. How can conducted and radiated noise carried by an automobile alternator be suppressed? All right. Number one, when you're doing this on your vehicle, keep your connections short. Keep them as short as you can. So a really short run from your battery. Okay. The other thing is your alternator, and that's going to create a whining noise, for example, when it's trying to recharge the battery. That could be a problem. So remember, you want a short lead to the battery, and you also want to have coaxial capacitors in line with the alternator leads. It's going to eliminate the whine of the sound of the alternator charging up. That's the answer for that. And that's the reason why, too. Keep your connection short and direct, and make sure you have some coaxial capacitors in line with that alternator lead. You'll be good to go, right? All right, what privileges are, and again, simple question, what privileges are authorized in the U.S. to persons holding an amateur service license granted by the government of Canada, right? Now, keep in mind that what this question's asking, it's not saying what level license in Canada is coming over. It just says a person that's licensed in Canada, right? Okay. So just remember, they can do everything we can do up to the U.S. Amateur Extra Class license privileges, but they cannot exceed it. Okay? So remember, they can do everything we can do here in the States up to the Amateur Extra license, but nothing more. All right? In Canada, for example, they can use 2250 watts amplifier power. We can use for 1500 here in the States. they can't come down here with their 2250 watt amplifier and start to fire up the atmosphere. Right. All of a sudden, yeah, you don't want to do that. So the answer, the operating terms and conditions of the Canadian license not to exceed U.S. amateur extra class license privileges. So Canadians, you can use our wonderful land to make your calls with. Just make sure that you don't exceed the amateur extra privileges, and you're very good to go. Ham Bites today was the amateur extra. We thank the people at Ham Test Online for helping us to get that on for you. They have a 100% money-back guarantee if you don't pass your test or you don't like the syllabus. And it's a great syllabus, buddies. It will get you licensed. Find them online at www.hamtestonline.com. Good to see you guys again on a Friday. Glenn, it's good to see you in Australia. Continent number 4 is here. So I'm glad I didn't have to sit for my license again. I would need to make a lot of lucky guesses to pass it. All right, guys, let me get you in real quick. Today's question of the show, what's your favorite part of your radio? Your favorite part of your radio? For me, love the screen of the ICOM 7610. I point, I click, it's there, and it's fun to use. It's really a wonderfully interactive screen. I think they hit it out of the park with their operating system. I love my 7610. I would never, ever sell my 5000, though, unless my family was desperate. That radio will die with me. I don't think I'll put it in the coffin, though. Nah, that'd be kind of gross. Let's get on and let's talk about the special events coming up. All right, the DXPedition calendar for this weekend. You got a lot to work. There's a lot of stations out there to make some DX calls. Tonga's first up. This runs through September 30th. Alpha 35 Juliet Papa, all right? This is Islands on the Air, Oceania number 49, 80 to 6 meter Morse code sideband plus FT8. They're running 100 watts. You can run this through September the 30th. Liechtenstein's going through the 27th. Hotel Bravo 0 is the call to look for. It's being done by German Ham, Delta Lima 5 Yankee Lima, as Hotel Bravo 0 slant Delta Lima 5 Yankee Lima. Going to be on the HF bands 160 to 6 meters with radio teletype sideband and QRV for CQ Worldwide DX Ready. Dada Canis, also Sierra Victor 5. This is great. Hotel Bravo 9 Oscar Alpha Uniform is doing this as Sierra Victor 5 Hotel Bravo 9 Oscar Alpha Uniform. They're going to be running on the HF bands 80 to 6 meters. SSB doing the radio teletype as well as FT8. So they're really working hard for that. A lot of folks, you notice, are doing radio teletypes because CQ Worldwide's coming up. Curacao, another one coming up. This is a good one. PJ2, so Papa Juliet 2, being done by Papa Hotel 2 Mike as Papa Juliet 2 slant Papa Hotel 2 Mike. 60 to 6 meters, mainly FT8. That's pretty cool. Mayotte, Foxtrot Hotel is the prefix. It's being done by Oscar Kilo 1 Mike as Foxtrot Hotel slant Oscar Kilo 1 Mike. 15 to 10 meters. Sideband, another radio teletype there. And possibly some FT8. 100 watts with a dipole. Minami, I'm going to say this wrong, and I don't mean to, okay? I don't. Minami Torishima, Juliet Delta 1, being done by Juliet Golf 8, November Quebec Juliet, as Juliet Golf 8, November Quebec Juliet, slant JD1. And this is pretty cool. HF with focus on 17 and 15, CW 50 watts, spare time operation. Hope to continue for about 3 months. So you may get them past the September 30th deadline. Again, these are DXPeditions worldwide. Look at them. St. Andreas and Providencia, 5 Kilo 0 Tango. That's the prefix to listen for. 5 Kilo 0 Tango. It's being done by Lima Union 1, Foxtrot Mike, so a ham out of Argentina. And they're working from San Andreas, 80 to 6 meters CW and sideband. Chagos, the call sign Victor Quebec 9 Sierra Charlie. This is 160 to 10 meter, mainly mainly FT8. Sideband also, spare time operation there. Vanuatu, this is Yankee Juliet 0 Delta Alpha. All right. Vanuatu. This is a good one. It's being done by an Australian ham, Victor Kilo 4, Mike Alpha Papa, going to be running from Islands on the Air, Oceania 111 on the HF bands. Now, Dodecanese Sierra Victor 5, that's going to be also HF 40 to 4 meters, mainly FT8 and sideband. Equatorial Guinea, that's a tough one to get right there. 3 Charlie. It's being done by Tango Alpha 2 Oscar Mike as 3 Charlie slant Tango Alpha 2 Oscar Mike. Going to be high frequency FT8 and sideband 100 watts with a ground plane. Svalbard is open through the 26th. Juliet Whiskey 0 Alpha. If you want to work them, they're going to be working 160 to 6 meters sideband Morse code radio teletype and FT8 for Svalbard, most northerly civilization in the world. That's true. Turks and Caicos. This is Victor Papa 5 being done by US Ham, November 8 Charlie Tango Bravo as Victor Papa 5 slant, November 8 Charlie Tango Bravo. Will be 40, 20, and 17 meters. They're not stating if they're doing sideband or CW. Just listen for the call if you can. Victor Papa 5. Madeira, Charlie Romeo 3 Sierra India, being done by Charlie Tango 1, Bravo Oscar Lima, and some other folks there. Their Island on the Air, Africa 47, HF bands, Morse code, sideband, and FT8. Christmas Island is opening up starting on the 23rd, which is today. This is a good one to go for because it's not an island you get DX from very often. The call sign's coming from Australia here. Victor Kilo 9 X-ray X-ray, all right? Victor Kilo 9 X-ray X-ray. It's being done by Victor Kilo 3 Sierra November, 80 to 10 meters, mainly sideband and FT8. Check local afternoons and evenings, holiday-style operations for that. That's going to be a wonderful, wonderful DXPedition. Coming up, Puerto Rico opens up tomorrow. Whiskey 3 Papa 3 Golf, excuse me. That's being done CQ Worldwide for RIDI and also, doing some low power works out of Puerto Rico. Bermuda runs starting on Sunday through October 6th. Victor Papa 9. So 30, 17, 15, and 12. So working the work bands. Look at that. SSB, radio teletype, and FT8. French Polynesia will be our last one. Call sign there, Foxtrot Oscar, being done by Kilo 6 Victor Victor Kilo as Foxtrot Oscar slant Kilo 6 Victor Victor Kilo, 166 meters sideband Morse code FT8 and FT4. All right. We got contests this weekend as well. This is the contest for the CQ Worldwide DX RIDI contest. Yes, RIDI weekend. Your radio probably decodes it, and you have the buttons to make the whole conversation happen. Let's take a look. CQ Worldwide DX RIDI contest this weekend. It's on an 80, 40, 20, 15, and 10. Look at high power, 1,500 watts.
The jig is up.
No kidding. Low power, 100. QRP5. Can you imagine RIDI at 1,500 watts? Holy crud. All right, anyway, but take a listen for it. This is where they're at. Exchange is 48 states in Canada. Signal Report and your CQ zone. Just know those and you're good to go for the CQ Worldwide RIDI contest this weekend. Main QSO parties this weekend. Yes, it is. 1200 Zulu tomorrow through 1200 Zulu on September 25th. 160, 80, 40, 20, 15, and 10. High power, more than 100 watts. Low power, 100 to 6. And QRP is 5 watts for the main QSO party. This is a neat one. I don't see many of these, and I got to share it. Amplitude modulation QSO party. Yes, sirree. Doggone it. AWA amplitude modulation QSO party. 2200 tomorrow to 2200 on Sunday. 160, 80, 40, and 20. This is amazing. Now, power, if you're over 100 watts, 1 point per QSO, 25 watts to 100, 2 points per QSO. Power less than 25 watts, 3 points per QSO. Bonus 10 points for making at least one QSO on each of the 4 bands as well. Yep. Plus, you get 10 bonus points for each first QSO with W2 Alpha November and Whiskey 8 Alpha Charlie Romeo. That's this weekend a.m. on the air September 24th, 2200 UTC to 2200 UTC on September 5th. That is going to be so doggone much fun. I'll be in that contest. UBA on contest, 6 meters. So 6 meter folks, rejoice and be really happy. Yep. CW and phone, 6 meters only. Your exchange on your signal report plus serial number plus on section. If you're a non-on member, just give your signal report and serial number, right? This is out of Belgium. So it's a neat contest if you want to work it for 6 meters, because 6 meters is kind of fun. All right, special events. Project Big E is here. Yes, it is. Thank goodness. Where would our world be without Big E? November 1 Echo is the call sign to listen for. This is a very special event. It's done over at the New England State Fair, one of the largest state fairs in the country, and they have a big amateur radio presence there. Thank goodness they did that. I'm serious. Thank goodness they did that. They're looking to be somewhere on 7.050 for CW, 7.195, 14.050, and 14.285. Running digital, HF, and VHF. Please try and work them. That's a big deal. November 1 Echo. Also, coming up this weekend, 500th anniversary of the discovery of the state capital of Little Rock. I didn't realize they had the state back then.
Hey, that's a joke, son.
Yeah, not too sure about that. Anyway, Kilo 5 Alpha is the call sign. Let's look for it. Just Kilo 5 Alpha. Frequencies listed there. 40 meters, Morse code 7.040. They'll be on sideband of 40 at 7.190. They'll be on digital, which would be Morse code, 14.040, and then on voice on 20 meters at 14.260. Again, call sign Kilo 5 Alpha. Also, celebrating the launch of the USS Massachusetts BB-59 is this weekend. Looking for a call sign November Echo 1 Papa Lima. That's November Echo 1 Papa Lima. It's out of Fall River, Massachusetts, U.S. Naval Reserve Station. They'll be on 20 and 40 meters. Look carefully for that one. That's a good one. November Echo 1 Papa Lima. That's going to be a really cool QSL card, too. Also, the CENRC 86th Anniversary Emergency Communications Exercise going on. It's out of the Southeast Nebraska Radio Club. Call sign, look for Whiskey 9 Whiskey Kilo Papa. All right? Also, celebrating the law. Oh, God gosh darn, Larry, you did this the wrong way. Sorry, gosh darn. Whiskey 0 Kilo, one to look for. It's the 100th anniversary of Krug Park Castle. Not sure what that means, but it's okay. We're grateful they did it. Call sign, look for Whiskey 0 Kilo. It's being done out of St. Joseph, Missouri. That's going to be this weekend here from 1700 to 2100 Zulu. Whiskey 0 Kilo. Volcano Days out of Parkersburg, West Virginia. Whiskey 8 Papa Alpha Romeo. Look for them on from 1400 Zulu until 2200. Also coming up on tomorrow. Whiskey 3 Bravo November 100th anniversary special event station. Yeah. Call sign, look for Whiskey 3 Bravo November. Being done out of Reading, Pennsylvania. 14.255 voice beyond 15 meters at 21.255, on 40 at 7.245, and if you're on the 80 meter band, 3.883. You can get all information right there from the Reading Amateur Radio Club. Right. Next up, and this is kind of cool. You can see the 242nd anniversary muster at Sycamore Shoals on the Watauga River and march to Kings Mountain. I dare you to say that. I dare you to say that loud. It's a hard thing to read. Whiskey Romeo 4 Charlie Charlie being done out of Elizabethton, Tennessee for the Carter County Amateur Radio Association. They'll be at 3.900, 7.075, 14.290, and 21.350. Also, out of the Radio Society of Great Britain, this Sunday, the 25th, the Southeastern Amateur Radio Club group, Echo India 2, Whiskey Romeo Charlie, will be active from the Suir Valley Railway Station in the County Waterford, Ireland, for railways on the air. Look for the call sign Echo India 2, Whiskey Romeo Charlie. Also, in celebration of the life of the late Queen Elizabeth II, members of the Marconi Amateur Radio Circle will be active as 9 Hotel 6 Quebec Echo until October 14th. Main activity will be on the 20, 17, 15, 12, and 10 meter bands. QSO directly to 9 Hotel 1, Mike Romeo Charlie. I hope they do really well on that. Also from the radio side of Great Britain, Stephen, Mike Zero Charlie Yankee Tango, going to be active on Christmas Island. This is tomorrow through October 1st. He's operating on 10 to 80 meter bands using sideband, FT8, and whisper mode on most afternoons and evening. He'll be using the Christmas Island Amateur Radio Club call sign, which is Victor Kilo 9 X-Ray X-Ray. This weekend, Vincent Kilo 6 Victor Victor Kilo will be active as Fox Oscar Slant Kilo 6 Victor Victor Kilo from French Polynesia. He'll be operating Morse code, sideband, FT8, and FT4, the 160 to 6 meter bands, QSL via Logbook of the World. Finally, Nathan 2 Echo Zero Hotel Sierra Victor is a technician from Port Stanley's radio station and plans to be active this week as Victor Papa 8 Alpha Alpha Echo using sideband and various digital modes. He plans to activate some soda references along the east and west coast of the Falkland Islands. 2 Echo Zero Hotel Sierra Victor, 2 Echo Zero Hotel Sierra Victor is the call sign to look for. Contest news from the UK. The Practical Wireless 70 megahertz competition is going to take place starting Sunday the 25th, running from 1200 to 1600 UTC using all modes. The exchange is signal strength, serial number, and locator. This Sunday, the 25th, the UK Microwave Group has its 5.7 and 10 gigahertz contest. Contest will run from 0600 to 1800 UTC using all modes. The exchange is signal strength and signal number and locator. And finally, talk here as well about the Worldwide Radio RTTY contest. Ends its 24-hour run at 23:59 this Sunday, September 25th. Also from the RSGB, on Monday, the RSGB FT4 contest is going to take place between 1900 and 2030 UTC, so about an hour and a half there, using 80, 40, and 20 meter bands. Exchange is signal report and 4-character locator. On Tuesday, the RSGB Super High Frequency UK Activity Contest is going to take place from 1830 to 2130 UTC, using all modes on 2.3 to 10 gigahertz. The exchange signal report, serial number, and locator. Wednesday, the UKE ICC 80 meter contest will run from 2000 to 2100 UTC using Morse code. The exchange is a 6-character locator. And finally, on Saturday, the 1.2 gigahertz trophy and 2.3 gigahertz trophy both run from 1400 to 2200 UTC using all modes in the respective bands. The exchange is signal report, serial number, and locator. Finally, this last piece, the Worked All Brit DX contest takes place on Sunday, October 2nd from 0500 to 2300 UTC. Entrants can pick any 6-hour period to score points in the contest. The 80, 40, 20, 15, and 10 meter bands can be used. The exchanges report, serial number, and Worked All Britain Square if applicable. Remember, that's going to take place Sunday, October 2nd from 0500 to 2300 Zulu. And that is your information about DXPeditions, contests, and special events worldwide. At least what I could get for you. That's the hardest part of the show. Just getting all that in. I'm sorry it takes so long. I really am. I don't mean to do that. But, there are people who do look forward to special events and contesting. I personally look forward to the expeditions. That's my favorite part of it. Just to see if maybe I can work someone far away. Let's take a look at a little bit of your comments, and then we've got a next segment coming up. By the way, wine and wish me luck. Just what's up my wish list today. Only 2 kinds first. I still wanting to afford food and drinks. Good luck to you, man. I hope that goes well. I really do. By the way, Indy's here? Is Indy here? My goodness, when you're reading all those things, it's hard to know when people come and when people go. Indy, if you're here, I'm so glad you are. Thank you for being here. Yeah. There's a lot to read there, and I'm grateful you guys understand. Thank you for that. All right, we're going to get now to a place where I get to say thank you to somebody. Yep, it's important. I'll do it. I certainly will. Every time. Doggone every time. Who are we going to do today that watch the show? Well, I'm kind of thinking, let's do this here. Why don't we do this?
On with the show, this is it.
Let's take a look and really enjoy just a little bit of somebody who watches the show a little ways away from us. And I'm really grateful that they do, because to me, this is my favorite part of the show. And again, I know you all know this, but let's take a look real quick. This is fun. Colin Mason, and you may not have ever seen him here. Maybe not. Call sign Victor Kilo 5 Charlie Oscar Lima. That's who we're talking about. Good man. And we're going to have some fun today, just having some time where we get a chance to say thank you to Colin for getting a chance to watch the show here, because to me, that's so doggone important. Colin, here you go. Let's play a little bit of Australia rock in excess, just to thanks a lot to you. Victor Kilo 5 Charlie Oscar Lima, that's his call sign. Master of Asia, DX100. He's got the DXCC, friends. Yep. Continents of the world, World Radio Friendship. He is a master of Europe. He's got all U.S. counties and the grid squares. Colin Mason, Victor Kilo 5 Charlie Oscar Lima. You can still hear the vocal. I can still work up to the vocal. Thank God I haven't lost that. Let's take a look. Here's Colin right there. Looks like a good man. I like this guy, dude. You can tell he's got a fun personality. A little bit about him right here. He does a lot of high frequency stuff, really does. He's currently the head communications officer and radio base operator for the Royal Volunteer Coastal Patrol. Well done. That is awesome. Seriously, anytime someone does that, call him. I'm very impressed with that. Take a look as well. His vehicle has 27 Hertz Marine, VHF Marine, UHF CB, 2 meter and 77 handbands. He's now a member of the Coastal Patrol for 36 years, and he does so much work and done a lot of awards. Here's a look at his shack. That's a 991A, a nice antenna tuner there below it, a little bit more gear. And we look down and look at those handhelds. He's got them all. Nice work, Colin. Right on, man. Here's his, look at this tower. Look at this. Man, who in the heck wouldn't want to have that tower? In fact, take a look at what it took to build it. That is the base, the hole they had to dig in the very hard ground of South Australia to build this gigantic tower. Unbelievable, Colin. That is amazing. And take a look what's right on the edge. Look at that. See the ladder line? He's got a G5 RV strung up there too. Who says wires can't be fun, right? Wow. Here's where he's located. He's in Yorkton on the Yorke Peninsula in the state of South Africa. And as you kind of look a little bit, that's where he's at there in Yorkton. Look what he's won. He did a Remembrance Day contest, came in 4th place for the VK5 prefix. Very good, man. That's very, very good. He also got a certificate of performance in the UBA DX contest back in 2022 for sideband. Single operator, 40 meters, low power. Look at that. He plays 69 worldwide, 46th in Oceania, and number 1 in Australia. Fantastic work, Colin. That's great. Let's take a look where he lives. There's Yorkton right there in the south part of Australia. Zooming out a little bit, that's Kangaroo Island. That's pretty neat, like that. And we get a little farther out, there's South Australia, and that's where he's at in the beautiful continent of Australia. That's where Colin lives. Looking out towards Oceania, that's his location. Thank you so very, very much for watching the show. Victor Kilo 5, Charlie Oscar Lima, Colin Mason from South Australia. You're a good man. Thank you for being part of Ham Radio Live, mate. That's so fun, man. Thanks, Colin. By the way, get your radios on today, please. Do it, because you'll absolutely love it. You know, the other thing we got to do, we've still got trivia. It's 8580, and we have to do one more thing after that, which is Friday Funnies. Yes, it's Friday. Let's first get in that part where we're going to find out how the Angry Hams are doing, and then we'll get into trivia next on Ham Radio Live.
What do you think?
Beat sitting home watching television?
Yeah, there you go. First question today. What is the meaning of the term TNT? Oh, jeez. Not again. Not again. What is the meaning of the term TNT as applied to ham transmitters, right? Is it A, a triode oscillator, neutralized triode amplifier? Is it B, tune plate non-tuned grid? Is it C, transmitter neutralization tank, or D, tungsten nickel triode? There you go. Find out which one it is. Just have some fun. A, B, C, or D? Let me know which one you think it is. First one to get it right, get some points. Very good. It's a good game, too. Yeah. Yep, it is. There's Indy and in out the signal like a groom on his wedding night. Yes, sir. Thank you. Please tip your waitress. All right, let me see if we've got answers here. Wine first up with D, tungsten nickel triode. That's not it. Country strong and free, good to always have you, mate. I'll still stick with A, triode oscillator, neutralized triode amplifier. Not it, my friend. Aaron Lutz from Canada, Victor Echo 5, Echo Mike Lima with C, transmitter neutralization tank. No, there's one more that you have to still answer, and we've had 3 now. Oh, somebody please answer the D one. Jeff with C, transmitter neutralization tank. No. Cliff Bolts, they bailed us out again from Virginia. Whiskey Delta 4, Oscar Bravo, Papa. Oh, no, he said D. He's got a D there. It's not correct. Oh, man. Steve in the UK, 2 Echo 0, X-ray Sierra Hotel with a D. And then Glenn Stevenson from Australia. There it is, B. And that is the correct answer. That's true. Tuned plate, non-tuned grid. Nice work, Glenn. The first one to get right, yeah. Andy Bronson had C. Talal had C. And Talal, by the way, it's so great to have you here. Thank you so much for coming. Robert Varner had A. Eamon had C. And Country Strong. Hey, I gave my answer 10 minutes ago. I have to hold strong with that. Right. Okay. Thank you very much. Now I'm going to go cry. Just don't cry too hard. We need you for question 2, and here it is. What does the code? I gave this yesterday. Oh my gosh, it's still in here. It should not be in here. This is terrible. But we'll play along because it's there, so why not? Okay. Is there so much in this show? Goodness. What is the nothing like else and everything going wrong. Excellent. What does the code ZBK mean in RTT? Why we did this? And why it's here, I don't know. A, standing by for braking station. B, I am closing down until. C, weather report follows. D, are you receiving any of my traffic clear or not?
Hey, that's a joke, son.
Yeah, pretty much. A, B, C, or D, get the show. Hold on test question again. Good luck. Oh, gosh. Oh, what a nightmare. Geez, 2 days in a row. Terrible. Steve, he's the first one in. 2 Echoes or X-ray Sierra Hotel. See, it was D yesterday. Today, no. No, it can't be. It's not going to be D today. No, it is. He's right. Yep, you got it right. Yeah. It's true. 2 Echoes or X-ray Sierra Hotel. Everyone knows this one's D because Larry had a moment where he was simply being Larry.
And now, a Larry moment.
Yeah, well, I hurried to get everything in, and I couldn't get. I thought I had all the trivia in and done because I also do a pop trivia question, right? And so there's a lot that goes in. Plus, we had the funnies to put in and a ton of stuff that went in for contests and special events. And I literally was like,
"Oh, whatever, Larry."
Fine, excellent. I'll just move on with the show. It's okay. My feelings aren't hurt. Jenna with D. Winan is very emphatic with D, or he really likes it. Talal also with D, and Country Strong with D, and then Glenn. Wow, B was right. Yes, it was. Yeah, it's tie score again. Okay, 85-85. Final score. Here's the final question of today's show. Pop trivia. This is a fun one. What country consumes the most ice cream, and it should add here per capita, okay, per capita. These are the 4 top ones in the world, okay? A, Australia, B, New Zealand, C, the United States, D, Finland. Who consumes the most yummy ice cream in the world? Let me know with A, B, C, or D. First one right gets the points and breaks the tie. Good luck. No, actually, it's not a tie anymore. North America is down by 5, so it is currently 90-85. Who consumes the most ice cream? I would say I do, but yeah, there we go. Country Strong. So we get an extra question today, right? no. Aaron was C. Okay. United States. That's not it. Believe it or not, it's not it. Jeff also being very patriotic with C. No, not the United States. Andy with A for Australia, and that's not it either. Jenna, November 4th, Juliet Echo Hotel, United States. Nope. Country Strong and Free answers D, Finland. Now only one of these is left to answer. Just one. Do you remember what we've got? Steve, 2 Echoes or X-Ray Share Hotel with Australia. No. Oh, man. Tony, Wicked Loudwinner, C, U.S. No, not it. Seamus is back from Portland. Hi, Seamus. It's good to see you, bud. November 7, Mike Yankee Whiskey. One of the nicest people you'll ever meet right there. Seamus is really nice. He answered C, the U.S., and that's not it. Wine from Africa, he said, Victor 51 Whiskey, by the way, his call sign. He says B, New Zealand, and he just got it right. The world's ahead by 10 points. Look at that. Winan, you did it, man. You did it. That's so cool. I'm so proud of you, man. It is so doggone cool. Yes. Winan with the points. It is. Look at this. This is liters per capita per year, right? Okay. First place, New Zealand, 28.4 liters per capita. That's number 1 in the world. Number 2 is the States. U.S. is 20.8 liters per capita. Third place, Australia, 18.0 liters per capita. And coming in fourth, believe it or not, Finland, 14.2 liters per capita for ice cream in the world. Congratulations to Winan, who was our first one to answer B, and that would be right. It's New Zealand. It's nice work, Winan. Glenn was right behind him in Australia with B. Eamon had D. Robert says, I have to study before these quizzes. Indy being very patriotic with A, and that'd be Australia. I hope so. Doggone it. Jeff, is Utah a country? LOL. It may be. Indy with A. Country strong only because I'd want ice cream if I was living on a glacier. Great. Robert Varner with C. Seamus says, it's in my house.
Dear Mr. President, there are too many states nowadays.
Yeah, right.
Please eliminate 3. I am not a crackpot.
Okay. Talal had C, the U.S., and that's a good guess. Kel in Norway had New Zealand. I only see 2 people that got it. Only 2. Cliff with B. Robert loves his ice cream. Robin L.A. with D. Jenna, she got it right then with B. Bless your hearts, guys. Rodney in Holland, I'm back, and I don't like ice cream, but I do love pie. Thank you, Rodney. Tony, makes sense, though. Us pudgy Merkins love ice cream. Yes, we do. And Indy, the bloody Kiwis.
Surely there must be something you can do.
I'm doing everything I can. And stop calling me Shirley.
Indeed. That's great. Steve, wow, the New Zealanders love their ice cream. Yes, they do. They love their ice cream. Isn't that great, Jeff? Never knew they had ice cream in CL. Oh, gosh. Poor New Zealand. Show them some love. New Zealand's a great place. We love them. All right, you guys. It is a Friday. That means we celebrate with Funny Fridays. You guys help make it special on Discord. Find us at ham-radio-live right there on Discord. You'll find something that looks like this. Check it out and go down to #funnies. Add your stuff so on a future show we can show what you've got to share. Here is all we always begin with Tom's one.
Thank God it's...
Imagine you're traveling, opening your passport at the airport, and boom, the guy sees that.
Thank God it's...
All right, let's go through everybody for a Funny Friday, September 23rd show. Here we go. There's Jeff, Alpha Delta 7, Lima, November. That is a beautiful drawing, by the way, of Foghorn Leghorn. That is so well done, seriously.
Hey, that's a joke, son.
Nice work, Jeff. Beautiful work. That's good. We got some good ones. Rodney, Pop Alpha 9, Romeo Whiskey. Take a look. Yes, I really am running just 5 watts QRP, although I suppose I do have an above-average antenna system. Talal 73, mate, thanks for coming today. Come back again. We'd love to have you. All All right, great looking antenna father. There's a guy taking a look with the Catholic priest. He's got his antenna with the crosses on both ends. Next, Brickmeister wannabe QRQ. This is great. Adding DE before my call sign in voice mode. That's skeleton. Well done. That's awesome, Brick Miller. That's awesome. Brick me later. That's funny. Next up on Funnies Friday, take a look. Rob Q, oops, it's a costly mishap. No kidding, man. That is terrible. Could you imagine? Look at all that from just fall. Oh my gosh, it's awful. That's awful. Best of show this week goes to Rodney in Holland. That's right. All right. When you're at work trying to stay positive, look at little baby and look at that face. That is absolutely perfect. Rodney, well done, mate. Well done. That's beautiful. And you can just see how true that is. Rodney, best of show. Nice work. All right, take a look. We also have this. Car guys, PC guys, gun guys, and ham radio guys lying to women about how much our hobbies actually cost. That's great. Yeah. Used to think it was called AM radio because you could only listen to it in the morning. Jeez. No, not quite. Next up. Bones, how are the bad? How are the bands? They're dead, Jim.
I'm a doctor, not a bricklayer.
Exactly. And then take a look at this. Bones, time to work out. Kirk says where? And where are they going? They're going, damn it. They're going, damn it, Jim. Because remember, Bones used to say, damn it, Jim, I'm a doctor, not an architect or whatever. Nice work, Jeff. Alpha Delta 7 Lima November we're sharing this set in. This is absolutely hilarious. Letting a ham make his first contact on a dry erase board. What rig are you running? Well done. That's so funny, really. Rodney, ham radio, it's not a hobby. It's a post-apocalyptic life skill.
Thank God it's...
Come to field day, they said. It will be fun, they said. Nah, it doesn't look that fun. Take a look at this. This is gorgeous. Look at that car. Oh my gosh. I want the car. Oh. Tom, Alpha 92 Golf Whiskey from Bahrain. After years of hard work and dedication, I was finally able to afford this coffee. Well done. Can you imagine? Nice one, Tom. Gosh, I love that car. Oh, that is gorgeous. Next up, Alpha Delta 7, Lima November, Jeff in Portland. So then he says, let me show you my logbook. It was all in FTA. Can you imagine? Oh, poor FTA people. Next up, this is good. Leslie Nielsen, I figured out a way to destroy the ring. What is it? It's that little round gold thing over there. But that's not important right now. Of course, that would come from Jeff. That's very nice. Thank you, Jeff. I don't know what we could do with Jeff. Jeff's got all these airplane references, and they're funny as heck. You know, like this.
What is it?
Well, it's a big building where generals meet, but that's not important right now.
The big building where generals meet. Last one goes to Jeff. Alpha Delta 7, Lima November. Never forget Trans-American Flight 209, LA to Chicago. Surely it hasn't been 40 years. And you know what he's waiting for. You know what he's waiting for. So I don't think we'll play it. We've played that one so many times. You know the way he says, surely you're doing, you get what I'm saying. Anyway, Jeff, very fun stuff. And this is wonderful to end this segment with. Funnies Friday. We're grateful we do it. Thank you, guys. You can get your Discord stuff to us on our Funnies page. Just go to #Funnies. Great way to find it and be able to add your stuff to the show. We're approaching 2 hours right now, and we've got everything done. Yeah, there you go. I want to thank you guys for being here. It's a long show. This really has been. We covered a lot. We've got special events, DXPeditions, contests, amateur extra license, asked a topic question, went through trivia, and then did all your Funny Fridays. And I have had a ball. It's like I haven't been here for 10 minutes. That's awesome. You guys, we'd love to help you get an amateur radio. If you thought about it, you don't know how, contact someone really good, like the Radio Society of Great Britain. They are really good, tried and true, done and tested, ready to roll. They'll help you get that license. www.rsgb.org. Please hit the contact us bar. They'll send you an email back as a local amateur radio club that you contact, and then tell them, hey, I want to get licensed. I'd like to get my ham radio license. Could you help me? Oh, man. That club will be so happy to see you, and they will help you get on the air. www.rsgb.org is a place to go. If you'd rather go maybe someplace like, I don't know, Australia or something like that and check with them, you can go with them too. They can be found at www.wia.org.au, and I got it right 2 shows in a row. Thanks to Colin. Colin's the one that got a hold of me. No kidding. It was Colin. He said, hey, Larry, hey, mate. that address you're putting for wireless instrument for Australia, it's wrong. It's missing the AU at the end, mate. Colin, I owe you one. Thank you. Okay, I think we're paid up. I thank you for watching the show. You ever do something you just have a ball doing, and it doesn't seem like you've been doing it for a long time because you had so much fun? That's today. Guys, thanks for watching. I'll try and get on tomorrow. I want to do a part really bad. I'd love to do a part on there. But I might just play around a little bit on the bands. And if so, I'll take you along maybe for the ride. My name's Larry. My call sign, Amateur Radio's Kilo 7 till November. God bless you, wherever you are in this world. And when I say God bless you, I mean it. I'm a Christian man, and I believe in the power of God. It has helped me time and time again. And I know wherever you are in the world, it'll help you too. Till we meet again, see you later, everybody. God bless you, and have a wonderful evening wherever you may be. Goodbye, everybody.
And here are some final words from our general manager here at WFLO, Francis Wood.
After almost 75 years, it has finally come time for WFLO AM and WFLO FM to leave the airwaves. This was a difficult decision to make. At best, it's bittersweet. By now, you've heard or read what was behind this decision, so I'll not dwell on that. Instead, I'd like to thank the many local businesses that have entrusted WFLO to represent them over the years. We did our best to help you grow your businesses, and your investment in us kept us going for 3/4 of a century. We'd also like to thank our vast radio audience, which has not only allowed us into their homes, but also into their lives over these years. This is not something we ever took lightly. You were the ones we wanted to inform and entertain. We have often stated that we here at WFLO are a family, but you are also a part of our family. We designed our varied programming with you in mind. As John Wilson often said, WFLO is a full-service hometown radio station. It was your station. We did it all, and we hope that you feel we did it right. As President and General Manager of Colonial Broadcasting Company Incorporated of Farmville, Virginia, I want to thank also the current employees at WFLO for your loyalty and professionalism. You have all brought your individual talents and characters into this community radio station, and it has been my honor to work with you and call you my friends. It is our hope that you will all remember WFLO for the unique radio station that it has been over the years, and that you will recall the many voices heard over its airwaves with fondness. We were your radio station. We wish you all the best in the future. Now, this is Francis Wood for WFLO AM and WFLO FM in Farmville, Virginia, signing off and bidding you farewell.
We're running out of time.
Surely there must be something you can do.
I'm doing everything I can. And stop calling me Shirley.